Elijah prepares himself for his wedding and his twin brother, Seth, who is excited for him, asks if he needs anything. Elijah seems nervous and tells Seth that he is perfectly fine. Their father arrives and asks Seth if he knows why Elijah seems so tense. His brother has no idea. Elijah goes to his fiancée, Charlotte, and tells her that he is calling off the wedding for good. Charlotte is shocked to hear this and demands an explanation immediately. Elijah informs her that she doesn't love him and he doesn't have feelings for her like he used to. Charlotte lets him know that she always loved him, but Elijah insists on ending their wedding before it could take place. Elijah wants to pursue his career as he believes that he is on the rise and has the potential of doing more. As Charlotte doesn't have the influence of doing anything, the wedding doesn't take place. After some time, Charlotte, who is an aspiring and caring doctor, asks her very good friend, Abigail, if she wants to head for lunch. At the restaurant, Abigail finds Charlotte's engagement ring in her bag and asks her the reason for still carrying it around. Charlotte says that she hasn't figured it out yet. Abigail advises her to sell her ring. Abigail asks Charlotte if she is doing well after her breakup, to which Charlotte is confident that she's holding up well. Abigail tells her that there are many doctors at the hospital that haven't taken their paid leaves for the last 2 years. The list also includes them both. After everything she has gone through over the last 2 months, Abigail advises Charlotte to take some time off in order to freshen up. Charlotte says that she doesn't have to as her patients need her. While they are having a normal chat, Elijah arrives at the restaurant with a new woman, and Charlotte is dumbfounded to see him. Elijah asks if she is doing well and tells her that his parents miss her, and she should visit them whenever she wants to. Charlotte finds out that his senior doctor, James, is going to skip the medical mission in the Philippines he was supposed to go to, in order to tend to his sick father. Knowing that this might be her chance to take a vacation while tending to new patients, Charlotte volunteers and takes James' place. She would be going to the medical foundation named the Ariana Salo Medical Foundation. Charlotte arrives at the foundation and is greeted by the owner of the foundation, Henry. He lets Charlotte know that the foundation is named after his wife who died, and he used her family home to set up a foundation to help those who don't have quick access to doctors. As the foundation is new, Henry also tells her that not many doctors volunteer for his foundation, and Charlotte would be accompanying him with only 2 other doctors. Charlotte meets the rest of the doctors. The first one is Maya, an ophthalmologist, and just when she thought that life would stop surprising her, the second doctor is Seth, who is a dentist. Both of them weren't expecting to see each other. Maya senses that there might have been something between the two, and Seth lets her know that Charlotte used to be the ex-fiancée of his twin brother. Henry tells Charlotte that she has a full day of resting up and they would begin by going to a clinic nearby soon. Charlotte sits down with Maya, who tells her she comes from Auckland, and has attended medical missions before. Charlotte shares her wedding breakup event with Maya, and before she could get into more details, Seth arrives and asks if he could sit down with them. Sensing that his presence is making Charlotte nervous, Seth goes back to his room. As Seth looks the exact same as Elijah, Charlotte can't help but think of Elijah more often. The next day, all of them head to the very first clinic in order to treat the local patients. The doctors are introduced to Isaiah, who would be assisting all 3 of them and would also help in translating the local patients. The first day goes very well, as all 3 of them get along nicely with their new patients. Charlotte seems to have enjoyed her time and believes that she could still be doing more. Seth proposes that they should all go out for a nice dinner. Henry is invited, but he refuses as he has to make arrangements for the next medical camp. Charlotte calls Abigail and asks her if she made a wrong decision about coming to the medical mission, as Seth reminds her of Elijah so much. Abigail advises her to not think that much as she probably might still be jet-lagged. While they are having lunch together, Maya shares her past experience of attending different medical camps. When Charlotte accidentally drops her spoon, Seth goes to get clean ones for her. Maya uses this opportunity to ask what Charlotte's relationship was like with her ex-fiancé's brother. She tells Maya that Seth was always nice to her. She reminisces about the time when she was supposed to present dessert at the Christmas dinner at Elijah's home, but she forgot about it due to the burden of hospital work. Seth stepped in and covered for her and also helped her make the dessert. Charlotte says that Seth practically saved her from the embarrassment that Christmas. As they enjoy the sunset by the sea, Henry joins them, and shares how difficult it is for him to get doctors on board with the medical mission. Maya offers her help by saying that she can put Henry's foundation on several listings that could provide him with all the funding and supplies he needs. Henry appreciates her help. Seeing Henry get involved with his work so much, Maya wonders if Henry does this in the honor of his late wife and if this is his way of letting her legacy live on. Maya and Charlotte think that Henry might still miss his wife very much. Seth sits down with Charlotte and explains how he used to get burned out at his office, and would reject offers to several medical missions just for the sake of tending to his patients. He further adds that he now has brought in another dentist in his clinic that helps him carry the burden. He then used his leisure time to accept Henry's offer of joining his medical camp. Before Charlotte could explain her reason for coming here, both of them are called to leave for the next medical site. Seth tells Henry about his relationship with Charlotte and how his brother let her go on his wedding day. Seth says that despite Elijah being a bit older, he is definitely not the wiser one, and Seth often has to clean up after his mess. All of the travel by boat, and just when Seth starts to get seasick, Charlotte hands him some medicine to help him out. All of them find dolphins and are mesmerized by them. They arrive at the medical camp, and during their lunch break, Seth asks Charlotte about her actual reason for coming here in the first place. Charlotte is hesitant to answer him, but Seth understands that Charlotte has arrived to freshen up after what she went through with Elijah. Seth informs her that his parents were 100% offended by Elijah's actions. He asks if both of them can skip past that and be friends, to which Charlotte happily accepts. While on their way back, all of them encounter whales this time. Henry proposes that they should swim to get a much better look at them, which they end up doing. Maya lets Henry know that the organizations Maya talked to regarding Henry's foundation have already begun to consider sending more doctors as volunteers, and donating supplies as well. Charlotte also enters the conversation and says that she can talk to the hospital she works in, and can try to help Henry out in some way. Charlotte plans on going to the market. Seth decides to join her as he needs to buy some groceries. In the market, Charlotte comes across a lovely pearl wristband and Seth decides to buy it for her. Saying that she could have bought it herself, Seth explains that she wouldn't have enjoyed it that way then. Charlotte inquires about Elijah's new life. Seth says that he is following his career along with meeting new girls. Charlotte doesn't feel easy while hearing about this, but she says that she's happy how Elijah is meeting different people. Not having anything to do for the rest of the day, Seth decides that they should head out for some horseback riding. During the horseback riding, Seth tells Charlotte about his dream of becoming a veterinarian. He explains that he sensed his parents thought of that field as being less prestigious than the others, as Elijah was heading towards a lucrative field himself. So he decided to opt for dentistry instead. Henry appreciates Maya for helping him out with his foundations, as he has begun to receive emails from different professionals and hospitals. Maya advises him to hire more men to carry the burden, but Henry insists on doing much of the work himself. Henry lets her know that he misses his wife, but he still goes to meet his family every Christmas and spends much of his time with his only son. Maya also tells Henry about her personal life. She used to be married when she was younger, but it didn't work out for very long. Seth says that his parents still miss Charlotte and would prefer their daughter-in-law to be someone exactly like her. Charlotte questions Seth if he has been looking for a life partner. Seth says that he hasn't come across someone special and he doesn't have much preference for girls, as he would go out with anyone if that woman seems special to him in some manner. Both of them return to their place and thank each other for the wonderful evening. The very next morning, all of them travel to a new medical camp. Charlotte also teaches Henry how to give someone an injection. This day goes well again and everyone seems to have a nice time. While they are traveling back, the truck breaks down and Henry can't fix it. He decides on setting up a camp for the night as they are still far away from home. And hopefully Isaiah can come to find them, as he would believe that something would be wrong with their sudden disappearance. Seth tells them about his past camping experience and how Elijah would always create trouble for him in camping. When Charlotte wakes up the next morning, she goes to find Seth, who is finding something to eat. Charlotte finds Seth and is told that he found a fruit, but avoided eating it as he might think it would be poisonous. Seth jokes about how Elijah would have eaten the fruit as he is impulsive. Charlotte says that there's nothing wrong with impulsiveness. Seth is confused as Charlotte might be defending Elijah after what he did to her, but Charlotte says that it's nothing like that. Seth explains that when Charlotte ran away after Elijah broke up with her, Elijah told him that it was something that needed to be done, and that Charlotte would recover from it. Charlotte says that she did not see it coming as she still thinks if Elijah ever loved her. Henry tells Maya how his wife died. Henry explains that he was visiting several islands with his wife and on one island his wife fell sick. The reason is still unknown how she got sick. His wife fell prey to the sickness and died on the island. Ever since then, Henry has been trying to get doctors in order to prevent more deaths like his wife. Maya appreciates Henry's efforts of turning a tragedy into something wonderful. Isaiah arrives and takes everyone back home. Henry announces that he has rescheduled that day's medical camp to some other day, and that would use the current date to go out for dinner. Maya goes to Charlotte to get an idea of what she would be wearing for dinner. Maya asks her if everything's going alright with Seth, to which Charlotte answers that she is getting along fine with him. Maya asks her if she can go out with Seth without thinking about Elijah, to which Charlotte approves as Seth is a much better man than Elijah. Maya believes that Henry still mourns for his wife, but he could still see other women to fill her late wife's absence. Henry has used a boat to set up a nice cruise dinner for the doctors. Henry says that thanks to Maya, more doctors would be arriving to him after 3 months. After dinner, Seth and Charlotte go out to check the sea view. Both of them discuss about Elijah's interest and how Charlotte wanted her wedding to be completely perfect. Maya proposes that she could stay with Henry and help him in managing everything. Henry appreciates her request but says that she has already done enough for him. While they are having a conversation, Seth uses the opportunity to make out with Charlotte, but as Seth's appearance reminds her of Elijah, Charlotte backs out quickly. Henry asks Seth if Maya has started to like him. Seth confirms it and tells Henry that he could use a fresh start and that Maya is a wonderful woman. Seth asks Charlotte why they can't be together. Charlotte fears that everything would turn into a mess just like it happened with Elijah, but Seth is adamant that there might be some hope if they get together. Charlotte doesn't feel it that way. In the next many days, Charlotte begins to avoid Seth in medical camps and during dinner as well. Even Isaiah notices that Seth looks at Charlotte a lot. Henry sits down with Charlotte and both of them talk about how it is difficult to let go of the past and think about the future. One night, Henry wakes Charlotte up and informs her that they have to leave urgently as there's a problem with Isaiah's son. All of them leave in a hurry. Isaiah explains that his son sleepwalks and he fell on some rocks. Charlotte believes that he might have broken his leg. When asked about an X-ray machine, Henry lets her know that there isn't one X-ray machine on the whole island. Not having the facility of an X-ray, Charlotte uses her knowledge and experience to ask Isaiah's son how he feels about his leg. Upon asking more questions, Charlotte begins to treat his leg with the help of others. Everything turns out to be fine, and Isaiah's son starts to feel well soon enough. Isaiah thanks everyone for their efforts, especially Charlotte. Maya sits down with Henry and offers to stay with him. She explains the potential disaster they could have faced with the absence of an X-ray machine last night. Maya says that she can help in managing the foundation, and together they both can get much more funding and supplies all across the island. Henry, who has now begun to like Maya, accepts and is happy that she would be by his side for a long time now. Maya tells the good news to Charlotte, who is happy for her. Charlotte explains that she felt insanely good after helping out Isaiah's son. Maya advises her to be with Seth, but Charlotte is afraid that history could repeat itself, but Maya doesn't think that way. For some time, Charlotte begins to think about her potential future with Seth. Charlotte confronts Seth once and for all, and says that she was nervous the whole time she was here, but now she feels different about him. Seth too says that he almost left after seeing Charlotte for the first time there. Charlotte confesses that she thinks Seth is much more kind than Elijah ever was, and wants to be with him in the future. Seth is afraid that things could go wrong, but Charlotte assures him that as long as they would be together, they would be happy. Both of them finally share a romantic moment. For the rest of their trip, Seth and Charlotte are happy to be alongside each other.